Figma is dead. I said it. Designers are going to come at me in the comments, and honestly, good. Because what I'm about to show you is going to make your $15 a month Figma subscription feel like the biggest waste of money in your entire creative career. I use Claude Code to design, iterate, and deploy a full website, and I never once opened Figma. Not because I forgot, but because I didn't need to. If you're a designer watching this and you think AI can't replace your workflow, drop a comment below. Tell me exactly why. I genuinely want a debate because people are saying AI can't do this. Let me show you how this works. And for the entire workflow, you only need two tools. The first is Claude Code, and the second is Paper.design. And this one's the game changer because Paper is designed from the ground up to work with AI agents. It's not just Figma with an AI plugin bolted on. It's much more than that. It's a completely different philosophy, and designers are already switching. And if you've used Figma before, this is going to feel very familiar. So head over to Designs and go to Downloads, and you want to download the package for your machine. Once you have everything, it's time to build this puppy. And for this example, I'm going to use Claude Code inside of Google's anti-gravity. So grab a coffee, buckle up, and enjoy the ride. And before I jump into anti-gravity, let me show you what Paper looks like. So it's a typical Figma layout. These are boards, and just as Figma operates, you can create boards inside of Paper. So you can wireframe designs, UX, UI, you can add notes and annotations, and you can work with different team members to basically build out the project. The process with Figma hasn't changed. What's changed is that we're now going to use AI, specifically AI agents, to do everything that Figma normally does. And this is going to turn an entire industry on its head. So I took an example and I built it out inside of Claude Code. And I found this website called 9x. It's another agency. They're doing great work. And I like the color. I like the palettes. I like the branding. I like the way the website feels. And I like the experience when I'm on there. So I wanted to use this as an example, and I gave it some notes inside our Paper. So we are an agency that offers training to companies and organizations. We teach how to deploy OpenClaw, how to build automations for any process using N8N, how to deploy a swarm of AI agents, how to identify bottlenecks and address it using AI. And within a few minutes, this is what Claude Code designed. It's taken the same color, the same fonts, a similar type of aesthetic. I've called it 10x. And it's got all the content that I put in the annotation, the notes. Now, obviously, I can build this out. I can build out entire pages, subsections, footers. This is just scratching the surface. But I wanted to show you what's possible with AI in about 10 minutes. And honestly, this is really damn good. Not only has it taken the example, the reference image from 9x, it's actually built the entire concept, the entire wireframe for me. I haven't built any of this. Claude Code connected to Paper and did the entire thing for me. So I'm inside of Google's anti-gravity. You can use any IDE that you want. This can be Cursor, this can be OpenCode, or VS Code if you're a Microsoft Windows user. And your first step is to install the Paper.design MCP. So MCP is just fancy speak for two applications to talk to each other. Just how I record this channel in the English language, because that's what most of you speak and understand. We need a common language or protocol between two applications. And so this MCP allows Claude Code inside of Google's anti-gravity to talk to Paper.design. And you don't have to be very specific about it, right? Because these are agents. They're intelligent. So all I said was connect to the Paper.design MCP. That's it. And then it's basically going through all the crunching behind the scenes, asking for permission, installing libraries, connecting to the MCP documentation, and basically installing everything that it needs. And if you're inside of Google's anti-gravity, the way to check is head over to the agent here inside of anti-gravity, click on the three buttons here, go to MCP servers and manage MCP servers. And then you're going to see it here in the list. Now, I believe on the free plan with anti-gravity, you can only have something like 6 plugins installed, something like that. Don't quote me on that, but I had to delete some old ones before I could install Paper, but that's absolutely fine because your agentic builder will do it for you. You know it's worked because A, it's installed and it's enabled, but B, all the plugins, all the endpoints, everything that the MCP uses has been enabled. If you see it like this, you know you're good to go. And as an FYI, if you do get any problems installing the MCP, remember you're working with an AI agent. Just copy and paste the error or whatever problem you're having inside of the prompt and just ask it to fix it. It's really that simple. So the second step was on page 2 of Paper, I've basically added a screenshot for 9x and I've added some notes. I basically annotated the board. So all I asked Claude Code to do was connect to page 2 and build out the board using my notes and the attached image. I want to use the same fonts, color palette, and branding style as 9x. And then basically it started by connecting to Paper Design using the MCP, looking at the current state, and you can see that here because it is using the MCP here. It's looking at the screenshot that I've uploaded into the board, so exactly how Figma works. Nothing has changed in terms of the process. it's now reading my notes inside of the board and basically building out the wireframe. And then once it was built, it basically told me this in the first iteration. So I had to prompt it like 3 times to get it to what you saw. But that's absolutely fine because this is an agentic builder. So you can see here that it built the second board, which was 9x, but it called it 9x, which I didn't want it to be called. But you can see here the nav, it's got the color, it's got the options, the hero image, everything you see here, the decorative circles, the servicing, the text, everything that you can see on the actual concept board is all built out by this AI agent inside of Claude Code. Then I noticed that the color, the yellow, was a little bit off. So I asked it to change the name to 10x and then match the yellow color as the reference image. So went back, did some edits, and honestly, within a couple of minutes, it uploaded the changes back into paper.design, changed it to 10x, from 9x, and change the color to match 9x's color in the hero image. And you can see that it's actually switched it from this hex code to this hex code. It's a warm amber gold sampled from the 9x reference image. Now this is the part where most people watching this are going to pause and go back, because what you just saw isn't a demo. That's a real design workflow that used to take hours in Figma. And we just did that with a few sentences. Let that sink in. Now this is where it gets ridiculous, because I started firing up following prompts. So this time I asked it, add a learn section with a page called what is OpenClaw. Use the lobster icon to match this agent. And after a few minutes, it came back with this. Now I could even go a step further. I can make more versions and tell Claude Code to give me different variations. I could have a login so I can connect this up to a database like Supabase. So if I was selling a course, I could have a course login page where somebody can sign up and save their profile details inside of Supabase. So basically it tracks their usage. It knows where they are in the entire system. And I can also monetize this by integrating Stripe. And now that I'm happy with everything, I can ask Claude Code to build it all for me and host it on a local server. Use these 2 designs and build out the full website. So I want the homepage and the OpenClaw page. Make sure all the menu options are connected and deployed on a local server. Let's run that and see what Claude Code comes back with. After a few minutes, you're gonna get something that looks like this. This is running on my local server on this Mac here. And yeah, it's done a really good job. The fonts look great. I like the color scheme. I maybe tone down the yellow a little bit. It's quite garish. It's quite in your face. But honestly, for a 1-shot, 2-shot, it's not bad at all. I've got all the individual sections that you can see here. It's got a call to action. So if you want to capture the visitor, turn them into a booked meeting, or you give them a lead magnet. You can do whatever you want with this. We've got a resources section. So yeah, this is quite nice here. You can obviously make it more dynamic. You can give Claude Code very specific instructions. So if you wanted like a transparent aesthetic or a glass morphic, you can put all that into the prompting. You have an open floor here, so visitors can book sessions. You can upload videos. So if you want to give away extreme value up front, you can do that by embedding videos here. And lastly, the second page that I asked it to create was the OpenClaw page with the lobster emoji or lobster logo. And yeah, it's done a really good job. I'm really happy with this. I could honestly deploy this to a live domain. I can add a few more bits and pieces. I can make it more dynamic. But honestly, as a first draft, this was excellent. And remember, none of this was done with Figma. The AI agent handled it all. So let me be straight with you. If your entire value as a designer is knowing how to use Figma, that's a problem. Not because you're not talented, but because the tool is no longer the skill. The thinking is the skill. The taste is the skill. And if you could bring that to an AI workflow like this one, you're not getting replaced. You're getting upgraded. But if you're just pushing pixels and charging $5,000 for it, yeah, this video is bad news for you. Subscribe if you want to stay ahead of it, because I post workflows like this multiple times a week, and I'm just getting started with paper. If you love the video, smash the like button, and before you go, say it with me, something magical is going to happen today. Because once you install Paper Design and integrate it with Claude Code, you're going to unlock a whole world of possibilities. What used to take hours now takes minutes. And for the most part, you can automate it with an agentic builder like Claude Code. Thank you so much if you made it this far. See you when the next video drops.